I get ickier scrolling through endless options, trying to avoid that dreaded moment when you open the box and realize you've bought the wrong binoculars. The fear of wasting money on something that looks great on paper but falls short on the trail is real, especially when a piece of gear has to work for both hunting and casual wildlife watching. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's dig into whether the Zeiss VICTORY RF 8x42 actually lives up to its reputation, or if it's just another pricey pair that looks good but doesn't deliver where it counts. When you're in the binocular market, the biggest decision points usually revolve around magnification, objective size, and any extra features that might replace a separate gadget. For a lot of hunters and birders, a built-in rangefinder is the holy grail because it means one less device to carry and one less chance of misaligning your sight picture. That's exactly the niche the VICTORY RF is trying to dominate: an 8 magnification that's easy on the hand, a 42mm objective that balances light gathering with portability, and an integrated laser rangefinder that promises distance readings in a split second. Zeiss isn't just a name, it's a legacy of optical engineering that's been honed for decades. The VICTORY line builds on that heritage by pairing their trademark multi-coated lenses with a compact, ergonomically shaped housing. What you get is a pair of binoculars that, on the surface, feels solid but also surprisingly light enough to sling around a day's worth of hikes without fatiguing your arms. The brand's reputation for color fidelity means you're likely to see greens that stay true to life and sky blues that aren't oversaturated, a small detail that can make the difference between spotting a camouflaged bird or missing it entirely. Now, the rangefinder. That's where the VICTORY RF tries to pull ahead of the competition. Instead of pulling out a separate laser device, you simply press a button on the left eyepiece and a tiny red dot pops up, letting you lock onto your target and read the distance on a tiny digital display. In practice, this works best when you're stationary. Think a deer stand at dawn or a bird-watching blind at a lake. You can get a distance readout in under 2 seconds, which means you spend less time fiddling with gadgets and more time observing. The downside is that the rangefinder's effective range tops out around 100-200 meters. So if you're chasing long-range game in open fields, you might still need a dedicated laser for those extra yards. Optically, the 8 magnification paired with a 42mm objective gives you a field of view that's wide enough to track moving subjects without constantly recentering. In my own weekend hikes, I've found that the binoculars can capture a full flock of geese crossing a lake without feeling cramped, and the image stays bright enough even when the canopy overhead dims the light by half. The exit pupil, about 5.25 mm, means you still get a decent amount of light at dusk, though you'll notice a bit of softness compared to a 50mm objective on the same magnification. It's not a deal-breaker for most users, but if you plan to do a lot of low-light wildlife spotting, you might feel the pinch. Comfort is often overlooked until you've spent an hour holding a pair to your eyes. The VICTORY RF's rubber-coated grip and adjustable central hinge let you customize the interpupillary distance quickly, which is a plus when you're wearing glasses. The eye relief sits around 20 millimeters, so you won't have to press the binoculars hard against your face to see the full image, a subtle but welcome feature for people who wear spectacles or use the binoculars for extended periods. The weight hovers just under a pound, making them easy enough to carry in a small backpack or attach to a belt loop with the supplied strap. Durability-wise, Zeiss has sealed these binoculars against water and fog, meaning you can toss them into a rainstorm or let them sit in a humid boat cabin without worrying about internal condensation. The housing is made of a high-grade polymer that resists impact better than a fragile metal body, which is reassuring when you're moving through brushy terrain. The trade-off is that the polymer can feel a little soft in the hand compared to the heft of some aluminum models, and a few owners have mentioned that the finish can show scratches more readily if you're not careful with the strap. So, who should actually consider buying the VICTORY RF? If you're a hunter who values an all-in-one solution, someone who already carries a laser rangefinder and wants to shave weight off the pack, this is a strong contender. Bird.